Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the stream. How's everyone doing today? Welcome, welcome. Today's a momentous day, everyone. Absolutely. Today is a momentous day, a day that we've all been waiting for, a day with much anticipation and hype, a day that will be very interesting, to say the least. For today, I am starting my second run in Neo 2. I'm going to go barehanded this time, no weapons. It's going to be very challenging. I've never done anything like this before, but of course you guys have been asking me for this for months, so I decided finally today we're going to start that up. I hope you guys are excited. You really liked my first Neo 2 run. No, we're not doing that. Today is the premiere of The Last of Us Part 2, or The Last of Us 2. I call it The Last of Us 2. Apparently the game is actually officially called The Last of Us Part 2, which I didn't realize until I was setting up my stream this morning, and that's what it said here on Twitch. So, welcome everyone to the premiere of the stream. How you doing? It's the premiere of my playthrough. And the reason that, man, this is going to be exciting. First of all, Last of Us 1 was my favorite game of 2013, hands down. I felt at the time, at my first playthrough of the game, it was the perfect combination of riveting narrative, amazing graphics, great gameplay. It was just like the total package of what you would expect and want in a really good video game. And I really enjoyed the game to the point where I didn't feel like anything else that year held a candle to it. It was like hands down the best game of 2013, and it was basically the best game for the end of the life cycle of the PlayStation 3. It really felt like that was the culmination of what they could do on PS3, right? It was just outstanding. And so, of course, ever since that moment, when the game ends and you get this interesting ending, you're wondering, where's the plot going to go? What's going to happen to these people in this apocalyptic world? It's kind of like a dark but happy ending, to say the least. You know, for those who don't know, one of the main characters, Ellie, is immune to this fungus virus that's overcoming everyone on the planet and turning them into these zombie monsters. For some reason, she's immune, and the people who are basically kind of like almost like freedom fighters, anti-government fighters, were trying to use her as a guinea pig and experiment on her, operate on her to find the cure. But Joel, who spent most of the game as her protector, decides to hell with everyone on the planet. It's more about her being able to live. It's not worth it to sacrifice her to find the cure. And he ends up killing a bunch of these people, killing everyone in the hospital to break Ellie out and basically escape. And where Last of Us 1 leaves off is that they're going to go back to where Joel's brother has a settlement back at the dam where they had been previously in the game. They're going to go back there and try to live with those people. So it's kind of a big cliffhanger ending. He even lies to Ellie about it and says, no, they couldn't figure it out or whatever. So because of that, Ellie doesn't really know what happened. And the question remains, would Ellie have sacrificed herself if she had known there was a conscious choice between trying to save everyone or not? Would she have sacrificed herself for that chance? Because she was never given that opportunity. She was unconscious and just basically being forced into this by this group of people. What were they called? The Fireflies, I believe they were called. I'm trying to remember exactly. I actually watched a playthrough of this a little over 2 months ago to kind of refresh myself on the plot of the game. Okay, so the plot was really good, and a lot of moral choice and moral dilemmas in that. And now we don't know, this is obviously going to be much later. Ellie's much older. Did she ever find out what actually happened at the end of Last of Us 1? Did she find out that Joel did all that? And how does she feel about that? What's happened since then? So I guess we're going to find out. Now here's the thing, guys. Obviously, normally we'd be like, oh, that's great. 7 years. It's time for the sequel. Let's all get hyped for this and get excited. But, we had crazy leaks and spoilers on the internet that basically kind of changed the whole experience for everyone. During a normal new release, you get all hyped for it, but for this one, we basically had 2.5 months of controversy, as there's been leaks about the plot all over the internet. And because of that, it's very likely that some of the major plot points of the game have been spoiled for everybody, which really sucks. But to what extent, we don't really know. We don't. If you remember in Last of Us 1, there were a couple bait and switch moments where it seemed like something was going to happen in the plot. In fact, it seemed like it did, and then, somehow miraculously things turn around. In fact, there's one plot point, one major point where there's a main character who gets impaled, and you think, well, they're dead, but then they end up surviving. It's like, what? But, that's what I mean. Like, there's a lot of twists and turns in the plot. So I wonder if that's how this game is too, and maybe some of the spoilers that we heard of aren't 100% accurate, but maybe they are. Like, that's the thing. Like, that's actually some of what I feel is going to be interesting about playing The Last of Us 2 with all of you guys, is that firsthand, all right, we're going to be seeing firsthand some of this stuff unfold and see, was it true, was it not, to what extent was it. Also some of the spoilers that have go out there, we don't know when they take place in the game. You're like, oh, this is a big story twist for the end of the game, or maybe this happens relatively early into the game, and you don't know how much of a big impact it's going to have. So, I'm intrigued. I'm definitely, excited for the game. We all know Naughty Dog makes quality games. If anything, even if the plot is spoiled, I think we're going to have a great gameplay experience. I think that it's going to be fun. And much like The Last of Us 1, The Last of Us Part 2 may end up being the swan song for the PlayStation 4. Like the final great game for PS4 to send it off into pasture. While we have the PS5 on the horizon. Just last week we had the big PS5 reveal event. And so maybe that's kind of the point of this, okay? So I'm excited. I am. I'm excited to see how it turns out. Now, obviously, I got to say a few things up front. First of all, there's probably going to be dickheads trying to spoil. This game has been out for people who got early review copies for quite a while. And people were playing it all day yesterday on Twitch, who were the golden selected streamers to get the game early by Naughty Dog and Sony. The stupid-ass paid shills who get everything fucking early and are specially allowed to do shit early. Because, they're better than us. That's why they get to do it. That's why they get the big views and the big money. Because they're much better than all of us. We're just filth. We have to play the game on real release day, while these golden children of Sony and everyone gets selected to play the games early. So it is what it is. There's already going to be people who know the whole plot of the game. But I will say this up front. I said it to an Eternal Napalm. I see King Goken's here now. And this is going to go for the entirety of the Last of Us playthrough. Alright? If we get people in here who start posting spoilers, it's very simple. We're going to go into followers only mode. And if it continues, we're going to go into fucking sub only mode. And if that's that. I want no complaints during the entirety of the Last of Us 2 playthrough, because we already had, last night I was playing fucking Fire Emblem. And we had shitheads coming in here trying to spoil the game. And luckily I didn't see any of the spoilers. But a lot of people were saying, man, this is terrible. Can you stop it? And I was like, well, or I'll just ban these idiots, while I was playing Fire Emblem. But you get the feeling it's going to happen. And there's nothing you could do about it, all right? There's nothing you could do about it. So I'm just going to say this up front, okay? No spoilers. If they happen, follower only mode. If it continues, sub only mode. People will be permanently banned for doing it, all right? And if you are someone who does not want to be spoiled on the game and you just want to experience it live with me, all right, I'm going to strongly recommend, okay, that you don't look at the stream chat. This is one of those few times where I really feel it's more beneficial to not look at the stream chat, because there will be assholes who are trying to spoil the game. You just got to understand that. They're going to be trying to spoil the game. For some of us, we already know the major spoilers, because we got spoiled 2.5 months ago on social media when shitheads were posting that shit up all over the internet. And there was nothing you could do about it. But some people have not been spoiled. If you have not been spoiled, you probably don't want to be reading a stream chat on a stream of the game. Okay? Okay. Now, I'll be playing it. Well, actually, what we should do is talk about the schedule. And then I've got a little bit of news, gaming news, to talk about. That's actually really good gaming news. So, schedule. Today, Last of Us 2 excuse me, Last of Us Part 2 on the main stream. By the way, I should say this, I am very, very heavily affected by allergies today. I don't know what it is, but in the state of Washington today, it seems like the pollen went into overdrive, okay? I am super congested. My throat is screwed up. I'm sneezing. I already took an allergy pill. Now, I haven't taken an allergy pill the entire year. Today, this morning, I woke up, I was so bad, I took an allergy pill, okay? So hopefully, hopefully, this pill will kick in and I'll feel better, but what can I do, right? It's allergies. It's bad. It's a bad allergy season here in Washington. So it is what it is. Hopefully, I'll feel a little better over the course of the stream, but you're going to hear I sound congested because I am. I'm probably going to be gunked up and clearing my throat and doing stuff, but nothing I can do about it, or I'm toughing through it. I want to be here for you guys on the launch of Last of Us 2, not, suffering from allergies and I can't stream, right? So just throwing that out there so you guys know what's going on. Okay. All right. So The Last of Us 2, right now on stream, 3.5 hours or more of gameplay. We'll see how much we can get to today. Tonight, it's Street Fighter, old school throwback fun. 2 hours of old school Street Fighter on the late stream tonight, as usual on Friday nights. Hope you will join me for that. In fact, that's the only major stream that I'm doing this week that's not an ongoing playthrough. It's all the other chill streams are on hiatus, but Street Fighter's good variety, breaks stuff up. I enjoy doing it, so we're doing it tonight, okay? All right, tomorrow, more Last of Us 2 on the main stream, and then it's going to be Sleeping Dogs on the late stream. We're into the final third of Sleeping Dogs. There's only 8 story missions left, and I'm going to try to focus in on those to see how far we can get tomorrow night. Maybe we'll be like 3 or 4 of them, and we'll be near the end of the game, okay? Sunday, more Last of Us 2. And then Fire Emblem, 3 Houses on the late stream, continuing on. And by the way, some people recently have asked me, what do I think about Fire Emblem now that I'm like 25 hours into this crazy 70-hour playthrough, right? And really, my opinion now is that the game's growing on me, mostly because the combat is getting better, in my opinion. I'm a huge fan of the Final Fantasy Tactics series, which I played on PS1, and then later on it was remastered again. I think it was for, it was either for the Nintendo 3DS, no. Was it the Game Boy Advance? It was for one of the Nintendo handhelds had one. And then I think the original was remastered on the PSP, I believe. I can't exactly 100% remember. But I played 2 different Final Fantasy Tactics games, and I really liked them. I really enjoyed them. Mostly because the gameplay, I like that style of gameplay of being able to level your characters to be a certain class, and then their abilities improve, and it's strategy-based with the grid system and everything. And that's really what this game feels like. It feels like the evolution of the Final Fantasy Tactics series. So it's growing on me as the characters are getting more specific classes and more abilities and stuff. I'm actually enjoying it more and more. So last night, all I did was do combat. Like it was like it was more than that. It was almost 2.5 hours of just combat, and I enjoyed the hell out of it. So yeah, looking forward to more of that Sunday night. Then on Monday, it's completely open. And what I mean by that is I've purposely left Monday's streaming schedule wide open for a reason. I want to see, after 3 days of The Last of Us Part 2, how we're all feeling about the game. If I'm enjoying the game and you guys are enjoying the game and you want a 4th straight day, I would be totally okay with doing a 4th straight day of The Last of Us 2. But let's say after, 3 days of the game, maybe we want variety, maybe we want to break it up a little bit and not do another day of The Last of Us 2, in which case we'll do other stuff. I could do a major stream of Pokemon, which I just played the last 2 days, and we're not done yet with the DLC, so maybe another major stream of that. Or maybe I could do a final major stream of Sleeping Dogs and then attempt to finish that playthrough. That's definitely a possibility. There's different possibilities that we can do. So, thinking about it, all right? Thinking about what I want to do. I would say I'm definitely going to play more Pokemon no matter what on Monday, but whether it'll be the main stream or the late stream, I'm not sure. Okay? But we'll see. So let's play it by ear. Let's see how the weekend goes, how the playthrough goes, and judging by that will determine, what I do on Monday. Okay? Now, Tuesday, I'm off from streaming. But when I come back on Wednesday, it's more than likely going to be more of The Last of Us 2. But there's also a new release that day, It's SpongeBob, The Battle for Bikini Bottom, Rehydrated, which, yes, I'm definitely checking out. This is a game that people have asked me to play for years. It was even a viewer's choice event last year, and I said, well, I'll play it as soon as it comes out, and it comes out this week, supposedly. I think it's Tuesday, but since I won't be here, I'll be playing it on Wednesday. All right. So that's pretty cool. So we're going to have basically a really fun day on Wednesday when I get back from break. Now, if everything continues as positively and as well as it has recently, and if we continue to hit the tips goal every single stream like we have, all right, 5 more days of streaming, including today, so that would be Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and then Wednesday. If all of that, continues, and we hit 150 vest streak, all right, then on that Thursday, this coming Thursday, it will be Vest Fest 2, or Vestival 2, Vest Harder, or The Vest of Us Part 2, whatever you want to call it. All right? The Vest Streak celebration will be the main stream that day. That day we'll be doing all kinds of fun stuff, including a fun Q&A session to talk about how things are going. I'm sure you guys will have questions about what I think about Last of Us and everything at that point. It should be a good opportunity for us to just kind of hang out for a little bit. Jasper will likely make an appearance again, just like the last one. We'll have Jasper come in and hang out with us for a bit. A live DSP tries it. And it seems that you guys, this time around, are really interested in seeing me try out the Impossible Whopper, which I never tried, because I stopped doing DSP tries it, so I never went there to try it. I think I'm going to do a head-to-head taste test, where I'm going to have a regular Whopper and an Impossible Whopper, and we're going to do them head-to-head, test them out, okay, and see, how close to the real Whopper is the Impossible Whopper. That would be pretty cool. And, other stuff, too. Last time around, we had a lot of fun watching back the music videos that I play on the pre-streams, okay? So we'll check that out. And other stuff, too. There's possibilities. Maybe we'll do some Animal Crossing and visit people's islands and stuff. I'm not 100% yet, but it should be a really fun, chill stream. And this coming Tuesday, I'm going to be going to the stores because guess what? It's official, ladies and gentlemen. Where I live in Washington State has entered phase 2 of the pandemic recovery. This means that everyone can fucking open again. Yes, all the stores can open. The the hairdressers can open. Restaurants can open. Now, we were partially open already, but it's been official that we're heading into phase 2, which means that we are heading into recovery. Thank God. And that means I'm going to be going to a couple places next week on Tuesday and see if they have like a new vest that I can have as a special new vest debut for the stream on Thursday. Can't guarantee anything because it's highly dependent on what I find out there. All right, I might find nothing, but I'll be looking around. Okay, it should be fun. So yeah, Vest Fest 2 is scheduled to be a week from Thursday as long as we continue on with the vest streak. We're going to do 5 more straight days of hitting the vest goals, which I'll be honest, some of the days have been incredibly tight. Like, we've been down to the wire the last few minutes, and then someone comes in and is generous, and we hit it. So I don't know what's going to happen. We'll have to see, okay? But that would be exciting. And then what we're going to do for the rest of the month, essentially, is balance SpongeBob with The Last of Us Part 2. Late streams will be Fire Emblem, the conclusion of Sleeping Dogs, Pokemon, which isn't over yet, and Old School Street Fighter. All right, and then at the very end of June, all right, we're going to be doing a special marathon, a retrospective marathon event. And this event is really cool because we go down memory lane. You guys have been nominating your favorite moments from my 11 plus years as a content creator over the past month. And we're going to be watching those back for the first time. I'll do reactionary, or not reactionary, excuse me. I will react to those things with commentary, give you some behind the scenes, info about some of that stuff that I did. It'll be the first time I'll be watching back some of that stuff ever, because usually I just make the content. I don't have time to go back and watch it again. It should be a fun marathon. That's going to be near the end of the month, and I'll have more info about that once we get closer to the end of the month. Now, the month of July is going to be crazy. We've got an Ask the King is going to be early on in the month. I think it's going to be within the first 1 to 2 weeks of the month. Okay, my Q&A show. Then we're going to have so much fun. with 4 new releases, including Deadly Premonition 2, Destroy All Humans Remaster / Remake, Ghost of Tsushima, and Paper Mario and the Origami King. Okay, so pretty crazy amount of stuff going on in July. And more than likely, I'm going to bring back like a subs goal for that month too. This month we didn't have one, but I think maybe next month we'll have one. All right, but we'll see. But pretty crazy the amount of stuff that's going to be going on next month here on the streams. So good stuff all around, everybody. Good stuff. All right, so outside of that, a couple gaming updates that I'd like to talk about on the pre-stream today. Some big gaming news. First of all, let's talk about Cyberpunk. Cyberpunk 2077, we all know, has been delayed until, I think it's November 19th now. Another 2-month delay. This is like the 4th delay the game had. We talked at length about that the other day on pre-stream. So that's not what we're talking about today. What we're talking about is there's been an update in regards to the game's release, because some people were speculating, including me. I was speculating that the reason that Cyberpunk got delayed is because maybe the game isn't going to run so well on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, and they're purposely delaying it so now they can release the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X versions at launch as launch titles for these consoles, and those will run better, and that way they can say, well, if you bought the shitty version, you have the option to upgrade for free to the better version. Okay? That's what I was kind of speculating. All right? Well, more info has come out about this, but the info is not exactly what we were expecting. Okay? So here's the info. There is a free upgrade if you buy Cyberpunk 2077 for either PlayStation 4 or Xbox One. You will get a free upgrade for PS5 or Xbox Series X. It's free. Okay? That's cool, because a lot of us, more than likely, will be getting it. And maybe, I don't know. See, we don't know exactly the release dates of the consoles yet. That's the thing. It's all speculation until we know when the consoles are coming out. We don't know yet. What if Cyberpunk comes out 2 weeks before PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X, right? And now we want to play it right away, but then we're like, damn, I don't want to rebuy it again for the next console, right? So what I would say is, let's see. But what they've announced is, here's the kicker that no one expected. They are basically saying at launch there will be no significant difference between Cyberpunk running on a PS4 to a PS5 or an Xbox One to an Xbox Series X. They're basically saying it's going to be the same exact game. There really won't be any performance improvements or anything. That's pretty crazy to me. They're basically saying you're going to be playing the same game. Now what they've announced is they're going to look to do improvements, and those improvements will take effect, but not until like 2021. So basically when the game launches, it'll just be, here's the base version, but if you happen to have a PS5 or Xbox Series X, they're going to try to improve it in 2021 to make it run better on those consoles, but it's not going to be implementing that at launch. So yeah, you know, it's kind of like, well, that's kind of disappointing. You know, I was hoping with this delay, get it for the next gen and you'll get a better version of the game. And they're essentially saying, nope, you're going to be playing the same game as everyone else. No matter what console you play it on, you're playing the same game. So that kind of sucks. I'm not going to lie. I do like the fact that you get the free upgrade. So you buy it once, you're going to play it on both consoles. So again, if PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X aren't out in time for the launch of Cyberpunk, no worries about, oh no, now I have to buy it again. You don't have to. You're going to be able to get it for the next console. So that's a plus, in my opinion. I do think that's good. But at the same time, it's very deflating to hear it's going to run basically exactly the same on every console. Like, then why wait? Don't wait. Just get it at launch, right? So there's some info. Now, a big leak happened last night. That's right. I pissed about 2 gallons. It was amazing. The biggest leak of my life. No, that's not what I mean. There was a big leak in regards to a upcoming new release. And in fact, this was an upcoming new release that we had all speculated about. All right. But now it's basically been confirmed. The big leak is There will be a new Crash Bandicoot game called Crash Bandicoot 4. It's about time. No, that's not my commentary on the release window of the game. It's actually the name of the game. It's about time. Now, we had suspected there was going to be a new Crash Bandicoot for two reasons. First of all, if you haven't noticed, in the last few years, Crash has been doing pretty well. They re-released the original trilogy for consoles, and it sold like hotcakes, right? And then they just did Crash Team Racing, and that sold like hotcakes. So it's obviously that number one, hotcakes are delicious, and number two, Crash is popular, and people want to buy Crash games. So it makes sense they would make a new one. And in reality, it's probably going to either be something that's the very last thing on PlayStation 4, or maybe a launch title for PS5, right? So Crash 4, it's about time. How do we know it's coming out? Because it was spoiled. What else is new? Just like everything else. Apparently in Taiwan, I guess something, I don't know if it was like a copyright or a trademark, something was filed in Taiwan for the game. And this was discovered overnight, illegal filing or whatever. And therefore, now we know the game's coming out. Okay? So, that's cool. I'm excited. I definitely want to play it. I love, the Crash games are great. Having a modernized Crash could be quite interesting. I wonder how difficult it'll actually be. This is what I'm wondering. Are they going to dumb the game down for modern audiences? Because let's face it, modern gamers are not as good as, as gamers who had to play these games originally back in the day. I played the original Crash 1, and holy fuck, that game is difficult. There's a couple stages that are quite challenging. Okay? So my question is it going to be super challenging, or are they going to dumb the game down for modern audiences? I don't know. But I'm excited to play it, and I hope you guys are excited. I want to stream it. I want to have fun with the new Crash game. That sounds amazing to me. So, pretty sweet. Looking forward to that for sure. I hope you guys are too. Okay. So outside of all that, the only other thing going on right now is not good news. The wrestling world is basically completely destroyed today. You know how we've had the Me Too movement and the Black Lives Matter movement. So now pro wrestling is being destroyed today because there's a movement going on right now where basically people are coming out and telling stories of sexual abuse, all kinds of terrible stuff, and it involves all kinds of current wrestlers. First, it started with the British wrestling scene, which rocked the world of NXT UK, which is part of WWE, because several of the people on the roster have been accused of things. Then, it was Jim Cornette, who is a very long time figurehead in the wrestling community, especially in the southern United States. And now apparently it's extending into current wrestlers on the roster of WWE. It's not good. It's basically really bad. If any of this is true, it's incredibly bad. Now the thing is, all this stuff's coming out within one day, so it's hard to verify stories. How do you know what's true and what's not? It could be accusations that are unfounded. It could be people looking for attention. It also could all be true, in which case that's really bad. I'm not really going to talk at all about this because these things are just, at this point, accusations and rumors, right? So when this kind of stuff comes out, it's like, what can you really say about it besides it's horrible if it's true? I hope it's not, but it very well might be. Okay? I hope that if these things are true, all right, that this means that we can have sweeping change where these kind of things end. With pro wrestling, at least I can say it's always been, how can I say it? There's always been this mentality that's a good old boys club. Oh, the locker room and, things like that. That there's hazing that goes on, and there's all kinds of things that you hear these stories about, and you never know if they're true or not. It's part of it's an inclusive, protective culture, pro wrestling. Let's put it that way. There's always been this mentality, right, that people can get away with shit if they're involved in pro wrestling. But we're in a modern era. We're in 2020 now, and it might be time for all that shit to end. If any of these accusations are true, it's time for them to be dealt with properly. So let's see what happens. I obviously I can't speak to any of it. I'm not. I don't know. Certainly, I don't even really watch pro wrestling anymore. I haven't watched pro wrestling. I told you guys since WrestleMania, but I follow the circles to at least kind of be in the know. You know, I follow the social media circles, and all I've seen for the past 24 hours is accusation after accusation after accusation against people in the wrestling world of this kind of like horrible sexual misconduct and stuff. Like, oh my god, Jesus, like fucking shit. That's not good. So, okay. So that's all I really have to talk about, guys. Let's get shout-outs going here. Start updating the leaderboards and the light. And get ready for Last of Us 2, okay? Excuse me. Okay. So, first of all, overnight, we had a few, let's see here. We have a few contributions that came in overnight. So, first of all, Froggins cheered. Overnight, he says, are there networks you can join on Twitch that provide protection for you against bullshit like you were talking about yesterday? Remember how Machinima and Curse have protections for you back on YouTube? It would be nice if a network could do that. There's no, first of all, there's no such thing as a partnership network on Twitch. All right? And in a lot of ways, I think that's a good thing. It's always between the streamer and Twitch directly. There's no middleman. There's no stupid, you know, red tape you got to go through. It's just you talk directly with Twitch. All right? But no, there's no extra protections for DMCA takedowns. There's no extra protections for anything. Now, in particular, Froggins, I don't know what you're talking about because yesterday I was talking about people charging back tips. That has nothing to do with Twitch at all. That's completely outside the realm of anything Twitch does. That's someone sending me a tip via PayPal and then lying to their credit card company to claim that it was fraudulent when it wasn't. You know, that's a totally different situation from anything Twitch would be involved in. So, you know, even if I were still a full-time YouTuber, YouTube wouldn't have been able to help me with that. You know what I mean? But I don't know what you're talking about. You're very vague here. So, honestly, I can't really directly respond because I don't know what you're addressing. But thank you for the cheer. Golden Colts did a series of overnight cheers. First he says, I hope you like The Last of Us 2 even though it's bad. Then he says, I don't think the game will have any waifus. And then he cheered again. Alright. Well, I hope I like it. I do. But at the same time, you never know what's going to happen. So that's why we're here. We're here to see, honestly, what I feel about the game, right? And you know me, I don't pull any damn punches. I'm going to be honest with you guys every step of the way and let you know what I think. So, Bronze FPS subscribed to the channel. Thank you, Bronze FPS, for the sub. I appreciate that. Timbo Slice Cheers said it was announced Cyberpunk will not get a next-gen upgrade. All right, we already talked about that. So thank you for that info. Timbo Slice. He says basically the news for the game is not getting great as time goes on. I mean, yeah, it is kind of disappointing. You heard the delay. You're like, oh, it's great. It means the game will be better. It'll be a next-gen launch title. It'll run better. Nope, runs the same. Like, ah, fuck. And then Timbo cheered again. He said, but we're going to get Crash Bandicoot 4. Yes, I'm aware of that as well. Doodly Dread cheered. He says, rest in pepperonis, Bilbro Swaggins. So, if you guys aren't aware, Sir Ian Holm, the renowned actor who played Bilbo Baggins in the Lord of the Rings trilogy, has passed away at the age of, I think it was 88 or something like that. Great actor. Absolutely great actor. And it is a loss. Absolutely. Most known for Bilbo. In fact, I know I've seen him in other stuff, but I couldn't tell you what. That's the thing. Like, it's one of those cases where someone did such a good job in one role that you forget what else they were in. Oh, that's right. Fifth Element. Absolutely. He played the priest in Fifth Element. That's right. And he was good in that, too. That was a really good role. He was Ash from Alien. There you go. He was in the original Alien movie. So now we got more info. There you go. But yeah, he's basically one of the better actors, and I really enjoyed him in Lord of the Rings movies as Bilbo. So, rest in peace. Raisin Bread is Tasty did a 100-bit cheer. He says, what do you think about the scandal yesterday with Indian WWE wrestlers? We already talked about that. Thank you for the cheer. Ultimate Cloud 7 did a 100-bit cheer. He says, you're going to try to find your house in the game. I'm pretty sure my house will not be in the game. Although The Last of Us 2 apparently does take place in Seattle, interestingly enough. So I wonder if it'll have Seattle landmarks. Right? Will it have like the Space Needle, the Pacific Science Center, Pike Place Market? Maybe those places will actually be in the game. In which case, that would be pretty fucking neat. I would love to do that because I've been there, multiple times. It'd be pretty cool. So I guess we'll find out. Uranus Thunderbang. What a great name. Basically said one of the stupidest things I've ever seen. He says, I should set up an OnlyFans account to have naughty vest pics. Oh my fucking God. How about this? How about this? I'm going to set up an account that you can log into to send people to your house to take a plunger to your ear and suck the stupid out of your head. How about that? Good Lord. I really hope that someone here can top this cheer so that we can get this name off the fucking screen. An anonymous dollar tipper says, Ask the King really necessary? You mentioned before pre-streams might take the place of this. Well, here's the thing. I kind of am in the notion here that I think Ask the King is getting outdated. I feel that Ask the King is something that made sense when I was a full-time YouTuber who most of the content that I put out was gameplay, all right, and it wasn't interactive. No one was getting questions answered on the regular. It was just me playing games constantly. And then every once in a while I'd have a channel update video or whatever. But in general, it was Ask the King where you guys had the opportunity to ask me questions and get them answered. But now every day is an interactive stream. Every day we're having fun discussions about everything. So I'm kind of in agreement with you. But last year, I said, gee, I guess maybe it's time to retire Ask the King. And I got a giant negative backlash from the viewers saying, no, keep it going. We want it. This is a tradition. It's one of your longest running series. People are already upset that Ask the King, that DSP Tries It was retired and there's no more weekend preview. And they're like, no, you should keep it going, man. It's one of your long-standing series. Keep it going. All right. So that's why it's still here. Okay. That's why I still do it. And I'm going to keep doing it as long as people want it. All right. If eventually people are like, all right, we don't need that anymore. That's outdated. Fine. I'll move on from it. Okay. But for now, people seem to want it. And that's why I keep doing it. Atlas Telemon did a 50-bit cheers. If you want to dish out punishment for your kid, tell them they need 100% Crash Bandicoot 1 before they're allowed to play any other game. Yeah. But although, admittedly, I'll say this. When I played the remake of Crash Bandicoot 1, it was much easier of a game than the original on PS1. On PS1, the controls weren't as good, in my opinion. And also, remember, when I played the PS1 version, I played it emulated on the PlayStation 3, which added input delay. So, for example, that bridge stage was super fucking hard on PlayStation 1. While on PS4, the remake actually wasn't as hard at all, in my opinion. It was actually much easier. Okay, so yeah, but yeah, I understand what you're saying. It's definitely not easy in any capability of the word. It's not an easy game. So, Middle Class Liberal Softy has resold for 25 months, over 2 years of support from Middle Class Liberal Softy. Thank you very much. The Radiant has tipped me $5. Top tip of the day. Let's get that on the leaderboard. Hold on here. Shit. There we go. Come on. I can't type. And they said the following. COVID cases are rising in most places with deaths now increasing. Hospital admissions are now increasing. Hold on. The amount of people still not taking social distancing seriously is frustrating. Thoughts? I already ranted about this the other day. I'm not going to do a full rant about it again. Here in Washington State, our stats are way down because we took it seriously very early. And unlike most other states, we basically kept the social distancing going for longer than almost everybody else. Okay? A lot of states have already been open for like a month, And we're just reopening now. Today, we were announced phase 2. Okay? Even then, certain places in the state do have a rising virus toll, but it's not around here. It's basically the places who weren't really massively affected. Now they're being affected because it finally is reaching them. Okay? Yeah. My opinion is that if everyone was basically doing the right thing, 6 feet apart, wear a mask, wash your hands. If everyone was doing this, we'd be in a much better position. The problem is now, a lot of people are like, oh, lockdown's over, so that's it. Throw it all to the wind. It's like it used to be, right? They're going out there not wearing masks. They're all close and hunched fucking together. You know, I think what it is, I mean, I'll be honest. I think a part of it is we've had ongoing protests for over 2 weeks. That's thousands of fucking people in close proximity not doing social distancing. So when you've been locked in your house for 3.5 months, and now you look on TV and everyone's out in crowds, like, I guess it's okay. Let's go. You know? In reality, I think what I said at the beginning of this thing is true. I think that in the United States, there's absolutely no way we can stop it, and it's going to spread just like the flu. And sadly, a lot of people are going to die from it because we're in a country where people have this mentality that it's the land of the free, and therefore you can do whatever the fuck you want, and it's your personal freedom to be able to do whatever the fuck you want. Despite the fact that in some cases, it's actually better not to exercise personal freedom, but instead have some restraint, and then you can trust other people to do the same, and you could probably have what's called the greater good be protected. But sadly, we don't really have that mentality in America. We have this very individualistic, capitalistic mentality, and the first lockdown happened because this hit us out of nowhere. We didn't know what was going on. We didn't know how people were going to be affected. And so the government just kind of in a whirlwind said, lock everything down. And then we had 3.5 months of economic depression, people without jobs, people who were stir crazy sitting at home. And now that they're lifting these restrictions, it's like nothing ever happened. Just go right back to life how it was, which we can't do. Businesses certainly can't do that. They're not legally allowed to. But everyone else seems to be of the mentality that the whole thing's over. As I said, when I was out on Tuesday, more than half the people I saw out were not wearing a face mask. I was wearing a face mask. My wife was wearing a face mask. More than half the people out there were not. And it's like, they don't seem to understand. Like, I guess they just don't pay attention. That it's not about protecting yourself from getting sick. It's that if you're sick and you don't know it because you're asymptomatic, meaning you don't have any symptoms of being sick, you wear the mask and it'll protect other people from getting it. It stops the spread. And if everyone's wearing the mask, we're all okay. If you're a selfish fuck and you don't wear a mask, you're fucking everyone else over if you have it and don't know it. But again, in America, we have this weird mentality of personal freedom is more important than the greater good. So the first lockdown's over, and now people are like, well, it's over, fuck it. And how on earth do you get people to do it? I don't know. If there's a second lockdown, I don't think it's going to happen. This is my opinion. I could be wrong. I think if the government tries to institute a second lockdown, the people are going to collectively tell them, fuck you. You fucked us over the first time. It was your job as a government to prepare for this thing and try to stop it. You didn't. You didn't take it seriously. We're not shutting down again. Go fuck yourself. We don't care. I almost feel like that's the whole America is going to do that. I don't foresee a second lockdown being effective. The fact that now people we're not out of the woods yet. We're still just, phase 1.5, phase 2 of a recovery plan, and already people aren't listening. I can't imagine us doing a second lockdown in America. Okay? But who knows what the fuck's gonna happen? I don't know. Alice Telemon did a 203-bit cheer and said, please keep Ask the King. Too many shows have been scrapped. See? Exactly what I'm saying. Even though it seems like the whole premise of Ask the King may be outdated, people who are longtime fans seem to love the show. And that's why I've kind of kept it around. So I guess we'll see what happens. Okay? Pink Rocket 2347 did a 500-bit cheer and said, now he's talking about OnlyFans. So here we go. So Alice Telemann basically tried to become the top cheerer to take this Uranus guy off the leaderboard. And now we got a guy named Pink fucking Rocket up there talking about OnlyFans again. So, you know, again, I'm just saying, not that we have to, but if someone could top this guy's cheer so we don't have Pink Rocket on the fucking leaderboard all day, that would be very nice. Okay. X-Venom Symbiote just resubscribed for 2 months. He says, UFC 4 just got announced. Will you play it? I love it when you play the new UFC games. I don't know. The last UFC game, I hated. If you guys remember, I barely played it. Like, I really disliked it. I didn't find it fun at all. And so I don't know if I would play another one. I'm definitely not too pumped about it. The last one was kind of lackluster and I didn't enjoy it. So, all right. Shout out to the following people. First of all, the top cheerers of the week so far. We have a quadruple tie between the name who I can't say on Twitch because it's disgusting, DSP for Christ, Newt Shigaz, and Pink Rocket are all tied for 7th place. Lies for Soul is in 6th. Golden Colts is in 5th. Let's see here. Sambuca 2020 is in 3rd. Atlas Telemann is in, Sambuca 2020 is in 4th. Alice Telemann is in 3rd. And then we have a tie for 1st between Ninstar Rune and your boy, Antony. Thank you guys for that. Appreciate that, the support this week. Shout out to those who've gifted subscriptions this week. Alfred Aponte, Ghost in the Chat, I Killed Phil. Each gifted a single sub. Crabcock and Golden Nobles each gifted 2 subs each. 672 gifted 5 subs, and Only Iced Coffee gifted a whopping 11 subscriptions. Thank you guys very much for that support. Some more contributions just came in. An anonymous $1.30 tipper says it's only been almost been 10 years since your Skyrim run. Any chance of a second playthrough as a chill stream? Maybe the mods from the special edition. I've talked about this, and I've said I'm interested in doing it once we get closer to the release of the next Elder Scrolls game, which who knows when the fuck that is because we have 0 info right now. But maybe when we're like a year away from the next Elder Scrolls game, I would do another playthrough of Skyrim. Right now, I'm playing Morrowind. There's no way I'm doing Skyrim right now. Okay? Mama Carl tipped me $5 and says that each time that she sees her 14-year-old son's name in my chat, she gives him a thorough spanking. So there you go. Kate cheered. As the first AMC theater said you weren't required to wear a mask in the theater, but after the backlash, they said now you have to wear a mask. Yeah. Chevy Chase for president. Tipped me $1. What happened to that Rockstar game, I think called Agent? It's supposed to be a PS3 exclusive. What other games have been scrapped that you know? Oh, I don't even know what you're talking about. I never heard of that one. So I didn't even know that there was that game coming out. And in truth, I don't really follow Rockstar that closely. I believe at one point they were definitely making a new Bully. Like there was a casting call for voice actors for a game where you would do voice acting as a professor. And there was no game Rockstar ever made that had a professor in it. So I get the feeling they were working on Bully at one point, and then for some reason it didn't happen. I don't know. Alice Telemann Cherry says Twitch did some early promotional things with your channel in the past, and in likelihood they'll do it again. I have no idea. I don't hear about it anymore. Back then I was getting, contacted by Twitch about stuff. I don't get contacted anymore. So chances are it's probably off the table because of trolling activities. That would be my guess. Pink Rocket now did a 551-bit cheer. It says, I'm going to be up on there as the top cheerer all stream. I hope you have a good day. So this person is 100% committed to being the top cheerer all day long. So there you go. Great. All right, guys. So that's it for the pre-stream. Let's take a break. I got to use the bathroom pretty badly, actually. Let's take a few minutes break. I'm going to use the restroom. When we come back, it's the premiere of Last of Us 2. All right, so let's take a few minutes here. If you guys got to use the bathroom yourself, grab a drink or a snack. I'm going to be right back in a few minutes, and then we're going to start Last of Us 2, guys, okay? Thanks, and I'll see you in just a few minutes.